you can hook them out of the chrono, but Pudge is such a bad hero that I don't think you'll ever see it picked. Like, that hero is just oof.
That is weird.
Ice Frog really killed
Most things don't work in chrono. Like you can't force staff somebody out of a chrono. You know, you can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Mobility tools, hook, I guess, is sort of like swap. It's a uniquely positioned type spell. Poor Pudge, man. He was starting to make a little bit of a run. There was like a window there, like a year ago, maybe 6 months ago, something like that, where he was so tanky. I was seeing him a lot in my pubs, and his win rate was going up.
Yeah.
Then they gutted
him,
that, and he can't deny himself, and it's just over.
Yeah, they gave him the 1-2 punch because his flesh heap used to have the regen, like the HP regen tied to it, which gave him an actual laning phase. And then they took that away and then also took Ratanai in the same patch. That's just like the harshest set of nerfs I've ever seen on a hero.
Yeah.
Like that was super heavy-handed to just do both.
Well, so one...
Like even...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, even just one of them would have been enough. Like,
yeah.
You didn't... He was already dead, Ice Frog. You didn't have to shoot him twice.
One thing that Trent and I have spent a lot of time looking at are like the different win rates of heroes across the different skill brackets, and it's pretty fascinating to see how that trends with like skill level. And when you look at it, there are certain heroes that have to be balanced around the fact that, yeah, they're not that relevant in the pro scene, but they are picked so much in these lower tier games. Like Wraith King was like that, where he was just dumpstering Herald, Crusader, Guardian brackets for a while there.
Yeah.
It's like, why did we nerf him? He's not winning pro games. That shit ain't for pro games, man. You got to remember what percentage of the Dota pubs are played at those lower brackets.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the game can't just be balanced universally around one like level of player.
But Pudge is also in that category. He is still like one of the most played heroes across all the skill brackets if you look outside of Divine and Immortal. So.
Oh yeah, he's always been that way, right?
I think so.
Ever since the
big one that's changed
is
is Drow. She used to be the like queen of the castle all over the place, and now she's not getting the same love that she used to.
I wonder why she's picked so often in low MMR. It's kind of weird to me.
I think she's just the face of the game for marketing.
Huh? Yeah, that could be.
Toby helped us out a lot with that as well. So
what is the plan here with the Beastmaster?
Tide
this is odd.
Beast. Yeah, some snap picks here. So.
The response is just strange because you can't really roar Tide. Tide naturally... Okay, so when we were talking the other day about heroes that are good against Beastmaster, Tide was pretty much the top of that list.
Yeah.
Because you can't roar him. Kraken Shell negates like all the damage that your minions can do. You are incredible counter initiation to him. So if he gets a roar and you have like Blink or something, you can kind of just go into the fight and just stop everything.
Yep.
Right? And plus, he's also really good against TB. Base damage reduction on Anchor Smash is fantastic. He can just be wherever he wants to be in this game. And the only thing that really scares him is Magic Burst, which they only have Lich and Tiny. So he will eventually get to a point where those heroes will not be able to kill them on their own anymore. And I'm kind of scratching my head about the Beastmaster. I'm not sure about this one. I mean, maybe they have some idea in mind that I'm just not privy to, which is entirely possible. And now Khan going for the Spectre. It's a pretty good Spectre game. They're going to have to get their lanes right, though. Otherwise, your Spectre's just going to lose her tower like very, very quickly.
So this could be a game where we see some musical lanes. I think of the matches you and I have cast, it's been relatively static. But this strikes me as one, if Beastmaster gets the matchup against Spectre, it's great for Cyber Legacy. If he gets the matchup against Tide, that's great for Khan. So it's...
Yeah, you definitely... If you are Khan, I think it is more important for them to get the Tide and the Spectre in the right lane than it is for Cyber Legacy, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Because like the Tide is important, not just in the sense that it can, hold up against a Beastmaster. It's that those towers won't die because he'll be there. And not a lot of heroes can do that. So if they don't want to lose map control against a Beastmaster team and a TB, which, God, I would not want to lose map control against Cyber Legacy's lineup right now. I think it's very, very important for them to get the lanes right.
Final bans. Pugna and Viper both taken out. Looks like both teams looking for a mid laner.
I don't mean to cut you off, but this happened. This is happening again. Where is Khan's damage?
Yeah, you're not. That's like the thing about this Venge. Like they pick up this.
Which one of these heroes does damage?
This Vengeful Spirit, like every game, and that's fine. But you have to compensate for the fact that like even with their offlaners too, they
like need a bursty mid hero.
These are like the kind of guys that they've got a kitchen that's stocked with all the stuff you put on the food, but they don't have the actual food. They don't have the meat that you put the condiments on, but they've got every condiment.
I mean, Cyber Legacy has tons of damage. Like, they got Meta TB, they got Chain Frost, Tiny Combo.
Dude, they got meat for days.
Beastmaster.
They're purists. They're just rocking the A1, and that's it.
Yeah, I can't hate it. Like, it's good. I'm just looking at Khan's lineup, and I'm like, well, now you need like a Queen, or maybe actually Invoker would be solid this game. It's very hard for Cyber Legacy to get to the back line. You could even do Exort, I think, if you wanted to.
You really like the Invoker. Yeah, so like
oh dude, whenever I see so I used to be a mid player, right? I used to exclusively
back when you were
play
young.
mid. Back when my hands worked. No, but I used to play mid a lot, and the games where it's a huge tell on if it's an Invoker game or not are when there's like very, very low amounts of heroes on the enemy team that can get in your face. And really no one on Cyber Legacy does that until Blinks. And even then, you have like Swap Save, you have Tidehunter. Like, there are spells that are going to be used for your defense. They are going to ban the Queen, which is obviously the go-to here. But I do like it because it offers them like damage and control. But they're going to go with the Storm. Okay.
This fixes some of their damage issues. I would maybe say this looks potentially greedy for Khan.
Yeah, my concern is that it can get very hard countered and have a very tough time in lane. But I guess saying that, a lot of the counters are banned. Like, Viper's out, DP's out, no Pugna, no Queen, no Cheese Batrider.
And I've also observed this trend with Storm, where even if he has a bad lane, a lot of games it feels like it doesn't matter that much because he just jungles, and he jungles so fucking fast that, yeah, it's not ideal, but he still has a game.
Yeah, it's not like he's going to get smushed out of the map, but he will, depending on what Cyber Legacy pick, there is potential for some bad matchup here. Okay, it's a Void Spirit.
It's not
the worst.
That bad. Yeah, I think Storm should be able to. It's a bit of a skill matchup. Void has options, but so does the Storm.
Yeah, this is fine for Storm. I think that it might be. I mean, it is a skill thing. I'm trying to think of the last time I saw this matchup, because both these heroes are played quite a bit in high MMR in the mid lane, so. I want to say that it's pretty even.
Yeah.
Because Void can negate a lot of the auto attack harass damage by just using his E and stuff. He'll still take Overload, obviously, but I think the advantage comes that the Storm can push the wave a lot harder because his nuke is a lot more mana efficient than what the Void Spirit has. So it should help him maybe control runes a bit better. And from the side of Khan, there's really not going to be a whole lot of rotation. However, there is a tiny on Cyber Legacy, and that could be the difference maker in the mid lane. You get tossed into the tower or whatever, it can be a very easy death.
Very true. Interesting drafts. I like it. I don't know which draft I like better.
I think all things considered, I believe I like Khan's a little bit more, just because I feel like okay, so if the lanes go well and the Tidehunter's against the Beastmaster, I feel like Petishar is not going to have really a whole lot of influence, or at least not nearly as much as he would like. And they're going to have to expend a lot of resources to deal with Tide. And I think that's exactly what Khan want. Like, they want to make the Tide a target so that the Spectre and the Storm can have somewhat of a game. But you can't just really afford to have your Beastmaster just shut off by one hero. It's kind of the opposite of what you want when you pick this guy. You want him to mow down buildings. You want to enable your 5-man. You want him to bully people just straight up out of the lane.
This definitely strikes me. I like the global sort of presence that Khan have with Storm and Spectre, but heroes that can get across the map pretty fast. Like, if they get ahead, if they have that 65% map control, I think they can be very oppressive with these heroes. Storm and Spectre are so painful to play against when they're, like, rolling. So I could see it maybe ball out of control, but the Cyber Legacy draft just feels maybe a little easier to execute. I think Khan could run into greed problems. Like, conversely, if they start to fall behind, they're going to be starved for space on the map. Because even Tide, he's not the greediest offlaner, but he wants farm, and he can take it pretty quickly with Anchor Smash. He can kill stacks, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I think that it's important whenever you're looking at a team and judging how greedy it is, that you look at their wave clear, right? Because a greedy team that has no wave clear will inevitably lose lots of towers. Why will they lose towers? Because their team is probably not strong in lane. That's kind of one of the big hallmarks of being greedy, right? Their lanes are just kind of weak. And then they won't be able to clear waves, so what'll happen is they'll just, every time they make a move, they'll take a ton of chip damage. They'll take more chip damage. Tier 1s will just eventually die to like attrition, or maybe they just get completely forced out of lane and they can't push anywhere else fast enough to make a play. So the thing about Khan's team is they have a lot of wave clear, right? Like Rubik can clear the wave, Storm can clear the wave, Tidehunter can clear the wave. Having 3 heroes that are pretty decent at killing creeps, like that's enough, in my opinion, to be able to warrant having some heroes that might not come online ultra fast.
All right.
Now, if I'm looking at the lanes, it does seem like Cyber Legacy are getting what they want. They're not putting the Beast against the Tide. I think this is a huge mistake, but we'll see. I guess kind of how things play out. If Naive feels like he can play against Beastmaster, then, you know, power to him. We'll see how it goes.
We'll see. I think if this was a Warlock or like an Oracle, then maybe you can just sustain the Spectre enough that even though the boars are annoying, she still farms. I'm not confident that Venge is the 5 that will be able to handle the Beastmaster.
Yeah, you remember the other day when we saw the Venge feed like over and over again to the Beastmaster boars?
Was that game 1 today? Was that this morning, dude? Or
no, that was like 2 days ago.
Has it happened twice? Well, we've had Venge in every fucking game today, so.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. But the last game, or the game that you're talking about, they actually had Venge and the Beast on the same team, right? Because they were picking it into the Void.
They might have. I think you're right.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. But anyway, the Spectre cannot help the Venge in this lane, like, at all. All you can do is throw a dagger. Dagger's probably not going to be enough to peel. When Big Num hits level 2 or 3, a toss back into a stun is just a dead Venge. Just every time.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like another reason why I really wanted them to put the Tide in this lane, because if you're Rubik Tide against Beast Tiny, you're never dying, like ever. You're going to get Anchor Smash and Fade Bolted. You're going to do 0 damage. You know, you can't even really get to the Rubik in that lane. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Maybe my understanding of this lane is not what I think it is, and maybe Naive will do fine. We'll see.
We will see indeed. Lanes break out here. Runes went even. It looks like Excel was able to kill an Observer Ward already, so that's quite nice. Keep an eye on this mid lane as well. The Storm Void Spirit. Pikachu versus Magical.
Yeah, I want to see how this lane goes too. It seems like right now Magical has the edge. He's doing the normal mid thing. You know, auto attack the wave, shove it as hard as you can, get it under his tower. But, I mean, during the mid game, I think it's going to be a bit easier for Pikachu to play than the Void Spirit.
Now, Draskell, I got a question for you. Preference here. Sure. What is your absolute favorite taunt in Dota?
My favorite taunt is the Weaver taunt. The one where he like flips upside down and
zap one.
Yeah, he just flails his legs everywhere. I don't know why, but that one just gets me.
All right,
so
that's
good.
Pretty good. Up top, Big Num.
Big Num.
Is he okay here? I think he'll make it out. The boars should help. Yes, indeed. I'm a big fan of the backstroke Tide. I know it's old. I know it's classic, but there's something about that backstroke. I feel like it actually does wear
really
people
good.
down mentally when they see that shit over and over.
It's like top 3.
Yeah.
For me, it's like the Weaver one, the backstroke, and then the Undying Thriller taunt.
Oh, yeah. Funk of the Dead. Here we go. First Blood does come out onto Slayer. Gilgar going to get credit for that one. Yeah, Funk of the Dead is pretty top tier. And there's like items now that taunt for you when you get like turnaround kills. I'm not a big taunter, but now my Undying taunts when I get big kills. I don't know.
Yeah, also courier kills and stuff, I think, and low health TPs are like auto taunts.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah, I remember it happening like a while ago in a game, and I was like, wait, I didn't taunt. What the hell's happening?
Yeah, I thought I was going crazy. I was like, did I rebind my hotkeys? What the hell's happening? Big Num's fine.
He's got boots. He's going a long way around. He's just trying to give Beast solo XP, I guess. But this pull is not... I don't know if this is really what he wanted to do. He's giving the Spectre...
He's going to get it back at his tower, right? No?
Yeah, but Naive is holding the wave, right? He's not letting it take tower damage.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, and he missed it anyway, so all right. Yeah, that doesn't... They deny a range.
It's not the best.
That's like the one silver lining.
But they're going to lose like this whole wave now. Like, this is actually quite bad.
Yeah, the CS is even, but this should be a lot worse for Naive, I'd say. I mean, Spectre's the one pressuring right now. That's not how this is supposed to go.
Yeah, when you do stuff like that, it really messes the lane equilibrium, and sometimes you end up with a bigger wave than your opponent, and you can just like bully because of that. So I mean, right now it seems to be going fine for the Spectre. So I don't know if it's because of the way that he stopped the pull, or like because Big Num is spending so much time on the side, but it might just be because it is tiny and not an actual like ranged 4.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a 2v2 really. It feels like a 1v2 with Tiny kind of on guard to jump in if something breaks out.
Yeah.
Bit of a different
Just gonna
feel.
check the top rune.
4 minutes. Meanwhile, some skirmishing in the mid. Pikachu and Magical going at it. The rune is bottom. Double damage. Secured by Gilger. Meanwhile, back in the mid. Toss back. Pikachu. He'll fall. Counter kill onto Magical, though. It's going to be close. And they find it. Gilger.
Trading the mids. Both support's going to be happy with that.
Yeah.
Getting lots of EXP.
Pikachu, the big loser, though, taking the first death.
Yeah, that hurts a lot, actually. How close is he to? Okay, so he's 4.5. And then the Void Spirit is 5. So yeah, that kind of sucked.
Yep.
If the Void Spirit hits 6, you can just get killed again before you get your ball, and that would be really painful.
It's kind of like what we saw, was it game 1 with that Queen of Pain? And she
A bot lane here. A little bit of a dive. Ooh, close.
Slayer lives.
And then top as well. Action everywhere.
Big Num and Excel. It's going to be Excel that falls first. And again, Naive, not able to chase. You definitely can feel the impact of the boars, though. Even though not able to kill the Spectre, it is preventing her from finding any kind of these chase down kills. Like, I don't know if Big Num would have died there, but 100% he lives because of the slow.
Yeah, and it also does secure both the runes top for his team by getting that Venge kill, because they won't be able to contest, obviously, with the dead hero.
Yep.
So, nice little kill. Wrap around on bot.
Dream. Gilger. Feels like this guy's everywhere. He's putting in the work.
He'll be A-okay. Alright, so Magical's level 6. Not going for any crazy dive. He wants it so bad, dude. You can feel it.
Up top, they want Naive. Here's the pressure. Coffee Cell Tiny, level 3. Naive with the TP out. Smart man.
Nice. Yep, not giving away the kill. I mean, there's not much he can really do about this. Eventually, the beast is just going to take your tower. It's just something you have to accept. If it was Cheshire Cat up here, might not be the same, but with the lanes at the
Magical is doing the math right now. I think you're totally right. And oh, he's going to get the regen spawn. 6 minutes.
Bro, is this 2 games in a row that this has happened?
Ooh. I think it was at 4 minutes last time, but yes, pretty much.
Oh, yeah, 4 minutes.
Dream down bottom again. Stick charges. I think he's okay. Big Num makes the rotation. Still some time on meta. Maybe the counter kill onto Gilgear. Slowed down by Slayer. A little Frost Shield. There it is.
Still pretty even early game here. Tier 1's still alive. It lived through the first cart wave. I would assume it'll be dead the next time.
Pikachu.
Especially since...
nope.
Yeah, Petishar has Roar now. So whoever wants to come top... I would actually not be surprised to see Magical just make a top rotation, like push in mid, TP top with his regen, just get a kill, and then just take the tower. Be a really easy move for them to make right now.
It does feel like the Beastmaster's ramping up. Like, I think Khan have handled this top lane very well. Honestly, this has been better for Naive than I thought it would be, but it's just getting harder. And we don't even have maxed out boars yet. You can see they're using magic missiles on the boars just to keep this lane alive.
That's not too bad. The big thing is the Tiny, right? Like, if it was another 4 hero that wasn't Tiny, I think this lane would have been much more difficult to manage. But yeah, like you mentioned, Naive is still... He's barely behind the Beastmaster, to be honest.
Yeah.
Pretty darn close, all things considered.
Pikachu,
Mid lane,
is this a turnaround potentially? Rubik's here. They'll pull Magical back into the tower, but he's got an Astral Step. Stick charges, infused raindrops, and a bottle. This man's got regen for days.
God, they really want this 8-minute rune. They have both supports mid.
All right. Is it going to spawn up top, or will it just go bottom? 8 minutes, it comes out, and Excel dies, and the Illusion rune spawns in the bottom position. Big Num. Okay, Magical. Beastmaster doing BM things up top. Little pun there as Naive moves into the jungle.
Yeah, this is the tricky part now is You can't really put Naive bottom. Cheshire Cat going for a dive here. He does have Ravage. Not gonna go though. Storm is nearby, just in case. But yeah, like, Naive would probably want to either occupy mid or bottom normally, but he can't do it against the TB Lich.
Magical. Are you a Void Spirit player, Draskell? You playing them new fashioned heroes?
A little bit. I've played him a little bit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm like an expert or anything.
He's pretty dirty. I could see you getting into that.
He's really fun for like 20 to 25 minutes, and then you just fall off a cliff.
Yeah.
Like you just stop. Like the combos that are supposed to kill people no longer kill people, and that just feels bad. Damage here on a Pikachu should be fine.
Don't think this will be a kill. Yeah, plenty of mana. Zips down. Yeah, you have to really maintain momentum. Like to be relevant in late game, you gotta really break that shit down.
Dude, like the normal Void Spirit item progression just doesn't involve a lot of damage usually. You know, you see like Orchid, Ags, BKB, or like Yules.
Deso.
Yeah, like sometimes Deso, if the game is like really lacking in CC, you can get Deso, or if your team like desperately needs damage, sometimes you see like Spirit Vessel, you know, like we saw previously. But at some point, no matter how good of a game you're having, you're just gonna go, God, I just do no damage anymore. It just inevitably happens every game.
4-2. Another relatively low kill score game at the laning phase, but it is
smoke here on Pikachu and Excel. They're looking for somebody. They're gonna find a beast.
Pet2, he's got the high ground. All right, zip in. Necronomicon units coming over. Naive haunts in. Reality. Pedushara will fall. Tiny also comes into the fray. Okay, now Big Numb's in some trouble. Well, the lead that CL had almost gone now.
Yeah, this is didn't this exact same thing happen in the last game? Beastmaster, I think it was Cheshire Cat, just kind of sitting too far top or whatever, kind of just dies randomly.
Yeah, almost exactly the same.
In the same spot on the map, on the same team. Yeah.
Around the same time, yep. Well, now here up in the dire jungle, they're going to find Magical. Does have another Astral Step. They've got a lot of lockdown. He gets into the trees, TP, cheeky shit, not going to work out. Naive.
It was a nice try, although I'm not quite sure why he was walking up the hill alone. Maybe he just really thought he couldn't die. I don't know. It was definitely a strange maneuver, to say the least.
Yeah.
Like, what's your end game there? What is the ideal situation walking into the woods completely alone with no vision up a hill?
Maybe he's just looking for a solo pick, hoping to catch Storm on low mana, killing a stack. I don't know. That's it, right? That's the only scenario in which that has a payday.
That's why it's such a weird move. When you can't think of anything like just very obvious, usually it just means that there was not really a reason behind it, you know? And typically that's seen as like a bad play, because if you can't immediately tell me that you did it because you saw this guy move here and whatever, and like he, you know, I can get this kill if he's standing here, then it just has to be a bad move, right? Like just objectively. So
it's probably fair with conventional logic, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just kind of you lapse into that autopilot that a lot of players have, where you just kind of say, oh, you know what? I'm really mobile. I do lots of damage. I'm just gonna walk into their woods. You know, it's a very like basic thought process, but you'd be surprised how even like top players can do that stuff. They like their autopilot is obviously at a much higher level than most people, but
I feel like I see it with runes the most with pro players. The fucking haste rune confidence, man. Oh, I'm unkillable right now. They got a Yules, buddy. They do have a Dispel, so confirmed you are not, quote, unkillable.
Yeah, this we haven't talked a lot about bottom, but Cheshire Cat just living the life, you know. Just a thick man down here, anchor smash and creep waves.
Yep.
TB can't really ever kill this guy.
He's got Big Num tossing him back in now.
Tiny can.
And body blocks the backstroke. Apparently backstroking gives you phasing. That helps. And that's it. All right, they get tied to half HP. Very nice. He'll salve up.
Yeah, very odd that he popped meta for that. That was weird. Maybe they just want the tower. I don't know. I mean, they are pushing into Ravage. Arcane Rune on Pikachu too. This would be a very dangerous time to push. Pikachu. Oh, he doesn't have TP actually. Okay. Maybe if they saw him TP, they'll push. I'm not sure if they did though.
It's still hard to push into the Tide. I mean, the threat of Ravage, sure,
Yeah.
but he's level 9. He's big.
This is when Tide feels the best. When you can just sit there and just be like, yeah, go ahead, do it. You know, come at me, bro. I dare you. Okay, he's actually dead.
Oh no, Chain Frost was too much.
These are the two heroes that can kill him on the map. If it's TB, you're not scared. If it's, Beast, you're not scared. If it's these two, you're scared.
I clicked away as soon as you said that. When you said he's actually dead, I kind of thought you were joking.
No, he actually can die.
I realized that he died, and I kind of missed the kill. So.
Yeah. Whoops. I mean, it's fine because like in these types of games, you'll have to buy like one item to live through some magic burst as Tide, and then you'll just go back to being the unkillable melon that you were born to be. But I mean, so far it's still pretty quiet. Cyber Legacy maintain a little bit of a lead here. I want to see what Naive is up to. Okay, he's just going straight for the Manta. Pretty standard stuff. No drums or anything like that. They're not looking to play super fast.
All right. I haven't seen this as much. I feel like Midas or drum first has still been the big go-to on Spectre in most games.
Yeah, I don't know. I think his lane was still not as free that he would want it to be to buy Midas, but I think drums would have been fine.
I would agree.
I think the only reason he went double Wraith is because they didn't lane swap, and double Wraith gives you a ton of armor. And your hero already has a lot of base HP regen, especially under a tier 1. So double Wraith is just super cost-efficient value, whereas drums are still a bit bigger of an investment, considering how much a double Wraith costs in comparison.
Petty Shara up top. They've gone fishing, and they found a big one. And there's that global presence we talked about during the draft. So easy for Spectre to help out in those little engagements, hop across the map if needed.
Yeah, if you're out of position against Khan, you're probably just dead. It's another reason why I kind of favored them going into this game. Because it's one thing to have vision advantage with like Hawk and stuff, but to be able to just jump from long distances is very hard to play against. Smoke here. Cyber Legacy infiltrating the jungle. They are going to get revealed. Nice smoke break there from Gilger.
They're going to find...
Even giving the all-chat BM.
Anything. I almost feel bad. Into the tier 1.
If I'm being totally honest, that voice line infuriates me.
Yeah, that one in particular.
Like whenever I see that, even when it's not even a good play, someone does that, and I'm like, all right, I'm tilted.
Yikes. I really like.
I don't know why.
I like the Aghanim's lines, but they've started to grade me a little bit. The chicken bok one actually. But if I hear that like by the 20th time in a game, I'm a little bit on edge. I won't lie. That's mine.
Collapsing here on bot. Gilger gonna eat a gang.
He'll eat a primal roar. It's all right. Ooh, are they gonna get one more? Naive does not have dagger for 7.
Nice jukes.
That was
really nice.
That was a nice juke. Oh,
he broke vision for just the right amount of time for him to be able to sneak out of the right because of night vision. It was very well done. It just looked like he just casually stopped, but if he didn't do that, there was a chance that he would have been spotted on his way out.
Big down mid. He gets his blink dagger now. All right. It's a big enabler for the Tiny. And book 3 done on the Beastmaster.
Yeah, he's able to go for the book this match. Last time, I think we saw the Necro 1 into blink because they didn't really have any catch. And now it's just, straight Necro 3 because you already have the blink Tiny, you have the Void Spirit. So your initiators are already kind of online, so it's really nice to be able to just go for that item because it's such a big increase in damage on heroes. Like, Necros just destroy heroes now because they buff the damage that they do to heroes, but they nerfed it to, like, everything else.
Ben's just going to feel the pain.
Oh, she's going to evaporate, like, every time.
They're looking at this Tide Hunter. They have the calculator out, like, okay, can we kill this guy? He's level 11. Guess not. And let it go.
Yeah, we haven't even seen a Ravage yet, right? 17 minutes.
I don't think so.
Ravage?
Cheshire Cat's been pretty planted down bottom. He's got a mech.
Both these teams, they're just content to farm, man. You know, whenever this happens, I always have a saying. 2 teams are just farming. One of them is wrong. Just every time. One of them should not be farming.
I guess you're right. Like every game has like somebody will do better with farm and like win the late game. Like one team always benefits more from passive play than the other, just by nature of Dota.
And
it might not be a big margin, but it can't be completely even.
It also could be that you're farming through your power spike, right? Like you're farming at a time where you just got a really key item and you don't know how to use it or you don't feel safe or whatever. Excel, a little far forward there, bud.
Okay, and he's going to die to the zoo of illusions and necro units. There you go. Roche still pretty healthy. They'll drop the haunt for this. They get magical off to the side. I think I was watching the back line here where Cheshire Cat's chasing him down. Ends up a 1-for-1, but now Big Num jumps back in, and they get the Tide Hunter, no Ravage. Does have a buyback, though. Pikachu low on mana. And now the chase up to high ground. Cyber Legacy, they want to keep on going. Orchid, zip back. Big Num blinks in, looking for more. He's caught him. There's the toss back. Okay. Cyber Legacy.
Yeah. This is the issue we talked about in the draft. Where's the damage? Who does your damage? They killed 1 core hero on the side of Cyber Legacy. There's a Book 3 and a Meta TB out, and they didn't even expend Chain Frost for that. So it was just, you know, the Tide got himself too low, so Cheshire Cat couldn't Ravage. The meta is down, so it is a little bit scary to keep doing this. They're going to go up the hill, though.
Oh.
Free kill on Excel.
Another one. So
they need Ravage. Like, their Tide's still not here.
Gilger. Now he's going to get caught. Khan playing the 1-by-1 game. This is starting to feel kind of costly. Roche, 3k HP. Cheshire Cat. Toss back in again. Buyback from Rubik. Khan, what are we doing? What are we doing? They're trying to stop this Ravage. Primal Roar does it again. Pikachu still has most of his mana bar. Now they jump in onto the Terrorblade. There's the Ravage. Chain Frost finds a kill. And they also get Dream. All right, it works out okay for Khan so far. But now how about the rest of the fight? Magical trying to go blow for blow with the Spectre. Now Pikachu reinitiates, and it's Big Num that gets brought down. They'll find the Lich also, and it ends up working out pretty well for Khan. This did cost them a Rubik buyback. And now I think they've got Roche. I don't know.
I mean, if the Tide was here, I would say for sure.
Well, they have Medallion. That's the one thing that makes me think they might be able to.
It's just that they, like, the respawn timers are so low, right? Like 10 seconds or less on pretty much everyone.
The Storm's out of mana. Those Necro units are whomping on him. Excel comes in, and now they might turn onto Magical. Pikachu ends up being an amazing bait, but the Necro units again shopping at the Venge. They're trying their best. The Gush! The Axe is not enough. Mech's there. Okay.
This is just turned into a battle royale for Roche.
This is absolute chaos. Cheshire Cat dies again. Roche still at about 50% HP, but it's now Cyber Legacy that move into the pit.
This has taken so long, Sayori, that meta came off cooldown. That is a 2 minute and what, 25 second? 2 minute and 35 second cooldown?
Yeah, I mean, Cyber Legacy win it. I guess they don't have to burn any buybacks. They get Roche.
That was absolute insanity. Both teams putting a very high value on the Roche.
Now, Dreskel, we should have talked about this at the beginning of the series, but it's even more hype here for Game 3. This is a big series. So we've got 2 groups of 6 to go into the bracket. You have to be top 3 in your group to make it to the playoff bracket. So bottom 3 are eliminated. Right now, Khan are 1 and 2, and Cyber Legacy are 2 and 1. So if Khan win this, they actually go into like a potential tiebreak scenario, I think.
Okay.
If Cyber Legacy win this, then Khan are 100% eliminated. So like on Liquipedia, the other 2 teams are red. Khan still has a chance. So I think Khan is fighting for survival in this. They absolutely have to win to have a chance to make it into the playoffs.
All right, well, here we go again.
All right, in on the Storm. CL holding the fate of their opponents right now as they find Excel, Primal Roar. They're going to get Gilger. That's 2 easy kills. Slayer probably going to go down in exchange. Yes, he does. Another very awkward, drawn-out fight. Storm chasing down Big Num. He'll just have to TP out. In the end, it will favor Cyber Legacy yet again. And, oh, maybe not done yet. Naive. He does get taunted back. And they have some tree clear. Uh-oh. Naive is in such a weird spot. But now the Ravage comes out. The mech, the taunt again. Naive. Sustaining. The great chase continues. They break the trees. Naive's down. Cheshire Cat trying to grab something in the back line, but it's going to end up another good fight for CL after a long chase. What is going on? Why are these fights so ridiculously, like, chaotic and spread out?
Both the teams have, like, they both kind of suffer from damage somewhat. Like, Cyber Legacy, their TB and their Beastmaster can't do much if they get Anchor Smashed, right? So it, like, completely guts all their damage if that happens, outside of just the tiny combo and, like, the Lich spells. So when that happens, the fight is just going to be long, right? Because Khan don't have a lot of damage of their own. Like, basically all of their damage is coming right now from the Storm, and I guess the Tide if he has all his spells up. The Spectre only has a Manta. Like, no Diffusal or anything like that. It's 23 minutes in, so definitely falling behind in terms of itemization on this hero. And you're not really feeling powerful until you get to your second item on Spectre, because you want that mana burn from the Diffusal and such, and the Desolate propagating to your illusions when the hero's alone and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So the fights just kind of, they just stretch out because no one's really doing that much damage.
Like, even TB, he's ahead of the Spectre by a good amount now, but he's got BKB, SNY, Dragonlance. Like, he's not crazy damage yet.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing about TB is that you're all stats, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Anchor Smash and Fade Bolt together are just base damage reductions.
Oh, yeah. So it's tough out there.
Even Metamorph itself gives you base damage. It doesn't give you added damage.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal. Gilger. He's in some trouble here. He is dusted up. He's dead. Another pick for Cyber Legacy. Meanwhile, Drain just taking tier 2s. He took bottom. He's just headed mid. It's like, I got BKB. I got HS. I actually have no fears right now.
Yeah, this is the king of the map right here. The TB. Even if he gets Orchid cast on him or whatever, it won't matter that much. Trying to kill the Lich here. Gonna glimmer up to the high ground.
King for a day. Storm. Wow, is he good at snatching bounty runes.
Yeah, I mean, Storm is pretty mobile. That's the last time I checked. He's gonna get them all.
Well, things continuing. 18 to 12, 6K net worth lead. Beautiful numbers right now.
I wonder if Khan will ever get to a stage where they deal enough damage. I mean, they can kill the supports on Cyber Legacy.
Yeah. Now the turn onto the Storm. They force the BKB, and they turn it back onto Magical. A little back and forth there, but it's definitely Khan that come out ahead. Big Num going to get caught, as well as the Beastmaster, it looks like. Not going to be able to chase down Beast.
Aegis faded.
Good time to take a fight for Khan. All right. Hey, that's something.
Yeah, that was nice. I mean, the Storm ball in. BKB, I think that was the first BKB? Yeah, it was. Okay, they're going to get Excel here. So 1 for 2. Killing a support and also getting a kill on the Void Spirit. I mean, that's big because the Void Spirit is a lot of their reach in this game, and when he's dead, you feel a lot safer to pretty much occupy any space on the map if you're Khan. They're going to be trading a tier 2 for a tier 1, though. Man, I can't believe this tower is... Yeah, I was going to say, it's not even going to die.
CV's here.
Man, that feels so bad, actually, that they can't even kill that tower.
Yeah, it was just a free tier 2 up top.
I'm gonna find magical again.
Whoops.
Just a freebie.
Yeah, I was admiring the necro units up top. My bad.
Yeah, he didn't see it coming either. Don't worry. They were just sitting on top of the hill, and he just walked right into him. They just read what he was gonna do when he respawned. Like, they looked at the map, they saw that bottom was pretty much the only push lane, and they just said, you know what? There's a good chance he's just gonna TP here when he respawns, and he did.
Yep.
So he just eats another death.
Cheshire Cat continuing to farm. Guardian Greaves up next. He's also carrying around Squiddles, one of my favorite cosmetics. Big fan. You see that little green trail that Squiddles leaves? I remember thinking, like, damn, that's so cool. Look at all the particles. That was 8 years ago.
Yeah, it was like one of the first cosmetics, right?
It was one of the first ones that left a trail like that, at least that I remember. And I remember being blown away by it. Like a kid. Kid at the candy shop.
Yeah.
Merlini gave me my first Squiddles. I'll treasure it forever.
Yeah, that's dope. Ben never gave me anything. No, it's all good. Well,
I did live with him, so you know.
Yeah, that's fair too.
All right, here we go. CL pushing out. They want to defend this tier 1 all right. And again, Magical jumps out for it, and he gets put to rest. Ravage, Haunt, the whole kitchen sink. BKB from Dream. They'll just jump onto the Tiny, but now Storm saved by a swap. Stolen Primal Roar. Chain Frost bouncing around, but they get the kill on Pedusara. Big Num also in trouble. 3-0 thus far. Cyber Legacy in big trouble. Buyback now from Tiny as Cheshire Cat gets into the tower. Big Num with the toss. And looks like they'll get a counter kill on the Tide. No! No!
No way.
Get the hell out of here.
Boy. Whew, you'd love to see it.
You should see if you could get that Squiddles there, Draskell. That thing's good luck or something. My God.
Yeah, that was crazy. I didn't think he would be able to fog him for that long, but turned out to be just enough time. I can't... wait, what's his next item? Did he... Oh, he finished Greaves. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, he could definitely use some magic resist this game. Like, the Tiny combo is definitely hurting him a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it's getting him below half, and that's already, like... pretty scary range to be in if you're a Tide Hunter and you need to be able to frontline for your team.
Well, he wants Halberd instead, so I'm not going to take heed to your advice on that one.
I mean, raw HP is okay. Halberd isn't bad against TB by any means. Like, being able to disarm him is great.
Now, Smoke...
But it feels like... Yeah, it feels like fighting around the TB is what's been working for them, so if they want to disarm him and just kill all the other heroes and leave the TB for last, that's fine. And that's not a bad strategy at all. Cheshire Cat.
Oh, he blinks. Amazing.
Ah. You know, you do these smokes and you just like... You basically reveal your smoke in a way where the heroes that can't jump are in the front. And that just feels like super bad to see. Like, normally when you smoke like that, you want the heroes with the longest reach in front, or at least like the quickest way to get in, because that way you have the lowest probability of what just happened to them happening to them. Basically, that was not a very well executed smoke, is what I'm getting at.
I see. What a weird game this has turned into. Like, Connor actually clawing their way back. They've got the XP lead now. They've actually got the win percent advantage.
Yeah, they'll win the late game for sure. Like, Storm becomes an absolute monster, and the thing about TB is that TB is great when your team can fight around you, but his team can't fight around him during the late game. The Spectre is going to isolate heroes like Lich and Tiny, and they're just going to die. Like, these heroes can't live through a late game haunt. You know, even with a Glimmer Cape, there just needs to be like one sentry or a Dust anywhere, and these heroes are just dead to rights.
No,
and then a solo TB, he's not going to do it.
Yeah,
they need more.
The mobility becomes a real issue after a while. That's the problem with Terrorblade. He does the damage, but it's always the issue with this hero. How do you keep them close enough, right? You pop meta, everybody runs away. That's why that weird Aghanims didn't make any sense to me. It's like, hey, pop my ult and everybody runs away. Like, oh, it's kind of what I wanted to do anyway. And they can just run circles around him. That's the... You know, when I say raid boss, I mean damage, but I usually say that to also mean kind of immobile. You know, I think of like Dusa without boots. That's a raid boss.
Yeah, he definitely suffers from the old concrete feet syndrome.
Concrete feet. That's good.
Yep.
Look at
that was a phrase we used in WoW with people who didn't move out of shit.
Wow. Such a wordsmith.
Be like, yeah, concrete feet, man.
We used to just say, don't stand in fire, you fucking R word.
Early WoW, simpler times. People were much meaner back then.
Yes, especially when it came to raiding.
Yeah, there was we had a tank in our guild. We were doing BWL, doing Veil. You know, we have to like taunt chain and turn him and shit. And one of our tanks just literally would never move. Like we would have to move the whole raid. It was interesting times.
Wow, that's some serious luxury.
Bro, it was literally like 15 years
I
ago.
don't move.
Everyone...
The raid moves around me, for I am the main tank. What a dope mentality.
That was basically what it was, dude. It was wild.
Oh my. Hey, a smoke. What are we doing here, Cyber Legacy? Catching Pikachu. All right, can they get this kill, though? They need a little more. The taunt, the swap. They don't have it. The Primal Roar onto Excel. The Venge again. The Sacrificial Lamb keeping her core alive.
Really nice swap. Good save, good save.
TB is really accelerating. Look how much faster he's farming than everyone else. He's now a full item up on Spectre, by the way.
Yeah, but that's kind of compounding the issue, right? Like if we think about what we just talked about and how the TB is the guy who's going to get kited, then does the net worth on this hero really matter in the grand scheme of things? Because he's not only is he getting like more than anyone else on the enemy team, he's also taking away farm from his own team. Pikachu is going to find a kill on the Big Num. So yes, the TB has to farm, but it's...
Is there anything here? BKB? No.
Nope.
Okay. No Primal Roar. Yeah.
But it goes back to like the Naga effect, right? You choke out your own team.
Yep.
You take their farm away to give it to yourself, and then if that hero cannot solo win the game, then it doesn't give you a better chance of winning the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it is necessary for him to farm, but it's like a catch-22.
It's like this weird balance where you want him to accelerate really fast, but there's this wall that comes where it's sort of like diminishing returns on the 6th item for Terrorblade relative to one of your supports having that Glimmer Cape or like that save item. You know, like the 2nd item on a support might be better than the 6th item on Terrorblade in certain situations.
Yeah, that can be true in a lot of games, actually. And 1 players and 2 players just, they normally don't think that way. But it can be true.
No BKB on Storm. They've got the Glimmer Cape. So there's actually a little window here to try and kill him. Double damage root on Terrorblade. Also, this is scary. They've got the taunt.
Goodness.
No buyback.
Oh, he doesn't have buyback.
Oh, no. This could be scary. There is an Aegis on TB right now. Still some time on that double damage. It's like about 15 seconds. There's the glyph.
They could just throw it, honestly.
Now, they don't know he doesn't have buyback. It is gold, not timer.
Yeah, but they can find out just by walking up a bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they can certainly test it. But it is scary to overcommit against the Storm buyback, too. Like, that is one of buyback that can get you.
They're going to play it safe.
I like this.
They have the Bladzora Paladin Sword and stuff.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Cheshire Cat jumps in. He's going to try to delay this push, but he's getting juiced. Excel with the swap. TV coming in. A few more snowballs. That should be the end of Excel. Done. Tier 3 still taking some damage. 25 seconds on the Storm. Buyback from the Venge. Remember, there's no glyph. No more meta, though, either. TB now maybe a manageable force. Swapped back in. Pretty deep. Sunder. Is he going to make it back here? No way. They've got to at least get him once. He's going to try to lifesteal his way through. Sustains a little, but now the Aegis gets used.
No BKB and Ravage here.
Storm up in 3. This could be the turn.
Good toss.
Cyber Legacy.
Such a good toss.
Trying to make it out. They'll catch the Beastmaster. Big Num also in some trouble. They're killing the Spectre, though, and Naive's down. Does have the buyback. Big Num is the trade. Petishara also falls. Cyber Legacy, they are getting punished here. It looked good when they picked up the Spectre, but the TP's interrupted. Slayer's definitely going down, and now they're hunting for more. BKBs, Magical trying to live. Pikachu needs to be careful. Cheese gets eaten. They get the counter kill onto Excel. Dream and Magical actually holding steady right now. There's the BKB from Dream. That gets Cheshire Cat. Wow.
Dude, someone tip this Tiny. He just salvaged that whole freaking fight. He tossed the TB out to like the outskirts of the fight way in the back, and the Ravage just like it hit him, but there was no one there. So he basically gets saved because his BKB was down, right? If he gets Ravage there, he's just dead.
Beautiful. Now Storm. Uh-oh. No BKB. Again, this is a big catch. Up to the high ground we go. He lives. And now this top lane gets cleared out. Range barracks already fallen. And a pause. As well as a DC.
Oh, we got a DC here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that whole thing kicked off a couple of things. One, the core and the support need to communicate. Like, if you're going to be farming like that with no buyback, you need to be like, Excel, please God be behind me always. Because, you know, if you die in that situation, you just saw the result. You know, no buyback right in front of your base. Like, obviously, if he knew they were there, he wouldn't stand there, but that's why you need the Venge. It's an insurance policy to make sure that worst case scenario is you just are down a Venge instead of down your mid player.
Yep.
So that was a bit odd that they kind of, you know, let that happen. But, you know, obviously really good play from Cyber Legacy. They had the DD rune on the TB, and they made use of the Aegis, and they're probably going to end up getting at least this top racks out of it, I would assume. I mean, if they want to use buybacks for this, they can, but it doesn't really... I don't know. It's hard to justify buying back in a situation as Tide, for example, or Spectre, because you don't have an ult. Yeah. And, like, even if you do, there's no guarantee that you're going to kill both of them. You might kill Dream.
I think you're...
because he doesn't have his own BKB
banking that they just finish off this barracks and retreat, and then you're totally fine.
Yeah.
And it's...
I mean, if they use one buyback, they will for sure run. Like, absolutely they will run.
You think they'll run from just a Tide here? No, they're going to run anyway.
Yeah,
okay.
Because they're scared of Storm, and they know that Dream doesn't have BKB. That's why.
All right. They play it safe. Cyber Legacy.
I mean, you're happy with the kills, right? Like, that fight could have gone a lot worse. That Ravage connects, and you could have had a dead TB and a whole dead team there.
All these fights are so back and forth, though. At first, I thought, okay, Khan has a big opening here, and then Spectre way overcommits and ends up dying. And then that starts this chain reaction where it kind of swings again. That almost felt like two fights where Cyber Legacy sort of won both.
Well, they did have the use of the Aegis there and cheese.
Yeah.
Like, they consumed both.
That's right.
Magical used the cheese. If he didn't have it, he was dead. Obviously, Dream would have died too.
Yeah, but they also wouldn't have stuck around if they didn't have the spoils also. So
yeah, maybe. Maybe they would have just went for mid after they got that
I got
one
the
kill
vibe, like the way TB was playing that top lane especially, it after he got swapped for sure, but he was playing kind of like, yeah, I'm cool to lose the Aegis here. Let's go. Like, he was really not playing to maintain longevity on that second life. Prince's Knife comes out for the Storm.
Silver Edge here on TB.
Oh.
This Spectre is going to melt, by the way.
Yep. Like this item is a late game counter to Spectre. Ravage from Cheshire Cat to start things off. That is going to set up a kill onto the Beastmaster, maybe even the Lich. Not the fight the Radiant wanted. A great catch from Khan. Buyback already from the Lich. Well, that's one way to use your team fight.
That's what Vision Superiority gets you. They had wards up in their jungle preemptively when Cyber Legacy were making their foray into that side of the map. They saw all of them. There was no sentry placement or anything from Cyber Legacy, so they had the perfect like angle of attack, if you want to call it that. They knew how to approach, and well, there's a quick couple of kills and forced buyback from the Lich. I don't actually know why he bought back. Roshan's not up, so...
Yeah, I don't know if he thought that it was going to be a long chase. To be fair, they do have a tier 1 tower still standing in mid, so there is an access point for him to TP to if that did end up being another one of these long fights. So...
I think as soon as that Ravage hits and you lose like your beast,
it's just
you just can't.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Certainly ambitious.
Oh my.
Okay, Excel.
The old 4-hit.
That was a round 1 knockout right there.
Dude, why didn't you just play TB the whole series? First phase this hero. Stop first phasing Void.
You're asking the right questions. I don't have the answers.
I feel like this hero is so much... There's like so much less pressure on you for... I mean, obviously there's like Phoenixes and Zeus and Legion.
Yeah, but like in general, if you biff a meta, it's like, oh, let's go back to farming. Void's a little more, all right, I biffed a Chrono. Let's go, boys. It's time to pound him into the ground. Like TB's just a little easier, I think. You're kind of just doing your thing.
It's my belief that you shouldn't first phase any one position, like ever, unless you have some crazy plan. But We'll see what happens here.
BKB pop from Dream, turns on to Naive. There's the break, but won't be able to chase him down. Remember, that top lane's already dead. There is a glyph for the Dire available. Now the Haunt. Of course, there's no Aegis. The Dire's starting to push out. They want Dream.
What?
He's already sundered. Now the Chain Frost will start bouncing. Dream is sustaining. They do finally kill him, but the Dire's so low. The Chain Frost bouncing all around. Both sides trying to clean up. The buyback from the Storm helping out a lot as well, but Naive gets finished off by Big Num. Another ridiculously messy fight, and down bottom, it's some support on support action. Looks like Gilger will get finished off. But now Storm comes in for the cleanup. Pikachu low on mana. He's the only one alive, but does have the Venge Illusion. That's a flicker from the Beastmaster to get out there.
That was a really lucky direction to go.
It was. It looked like a Blink Dagger at first, the way it was placed.
Yeah.
All right, so that was a win for Cyber Legacy. Storm did have to buy back there.
That was so odd, though. Did you see it? Dream sundered his Void Spirit.
Is that what? It all happened so fast.
He sundered when he had 3 heroes of Khan just in melee range of him.
Okay, so that explains why the Void Spirit. It did seem like it turned pretty bad for Cyber Legacy all of a sudden.
I mean, he was on the ramp. Perhaps he didn't have vision of all the heroes. I don't know, dude. It seems very unlikely that maybe he thought his turn time was going to kill him. I don't know. I'm grasping at straws here. That was just a really weird sunder.
It could have just been a little bit of a misclick between like the Spectre and all the other shit.
He was like the only one who was there.
Yeah.
Like if you can imagine, there were like 4 heroes fighting on the ramp, and then like, you know, max range from that to the south was where the Void Spirit was. So I don't know.
Maybe it was vision. That would be the best explanation, right?
Yeah, it might have been.
And you just panic to try to live. So it's such a weird game now. It's like Khan did lose the melee barracks up top, but they hold the tier 3 with plenty of extra health, and now Pikachu has hit 25, and this is where things start to get weird. Storm can now shove out waves so stupidly easily, relatively low risk. You can hold megas with this this Storm talent.
Yeah, for sure. It's incredible utility, lots of damage. You can even kill people with it if they're not paying attention. We have a saying when I play is ball does damage.
Yeah.
It does lots of damage. So if you hit a long distance and you get a couple of remnants on top of them too, even the tankier like 2k HP heroes can die to that.
And it also, there's this other weird dynamic that happens where sometimes it's easier to just defend one lane compared to when you're trying to defend 2 at once and they're splitting you up. Like you have one focal point that you have to go all in to defend, and sometimes that can make it a little bit easier for the defending team. Like just having one objective that you have to worry about. It's a little oxymoronic, but yeah, it's like it's just less variables, so it makes it easier to focus. But feeling pretty rough for the 80-20 is what Dota Plus says right now. Of course, in favor of Cyber Legacy.
20 is pretty good actually, given that they're down 2 racks.
Spectre Storm, man. They're gonna catch
Beastmaster
Beastmaster. Or 2 potential engagements breaking out, but it's the top one that matters. Beastmaster buys back that tier 1 tower. Nice access point as Lich gets low. Slayer's dead. The Chain Frost did a surprising amount of damage, but now the Ravage connects on 4. Stolen Ravage. No, that's a second Ravage. My bad. Now Big Num's in some trouble. Pedu's already died, but they do get the kill onto Pikachu. Buyback from Tiny now. That's 2 minutes on the sideline without Storm.
They can still fight this if they want to. They have buyback Haunt on Spectre.
I mean, so far it's a win for Khan, but now they're going to get punished pretty hard. Excel low, Naive needs to live here, and he will not. Does have buyback, but all of a sudden it tips back for CL. Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't realize Tide had a refresher. Of course, Rubik and Tide are on the same team, so that was not a stolen Ravage. Magical, though, gets caught. There's the buyback Haunt. This is what gets scary with Spectre. Now, buyback on the Venge and also the Void Spirit.
Meta's down soon. They need to get out of here.
Dream's walking up to the high ground, dude.
He's got Satanic. He might be able to live through this.
A lot on the line here. Naive very low. Dream now on full HP. They're going to try to hit the Tiny in the back line. Rubik, the only one with buyback left. Everyone going to be stuck on the sideline. Dieback for Tiny now, but the Tide broken, low. He's done for 100. A 3 for 2 left on the map, but one of them is Dream.
And TB is such a silly hero.
Having 2 ultimates is pretty cool.
Oh, he's trying to clip him, I guess? I don't... Do you even want him up there with you, Gilger?
I don't know. You're playing with fire here, buddy. Gilgs?
Oh, no.
Gilgy?
That was...
Gilgs. Oh, boy. All right. So, every buyback is on cooldown except TB and Tide. They are both short a couple hundred gold, and Lich has his cooling down in just about 20 seconds.
I mean, this is free Roche. They can't do anything about this. Their Spectre's stuck defending base.
Yeah.
The wave clear heroes are dead, so there's like no way they're getting out of the base right now.
And they lost their second tier 4. So now you have 0 safety structures. It's just thrown.
Yeah, this is looking a little rough. There is a butterfly now on the Spectre. It's a nice survivability / a damage item, I suppose.
Oh, but Draskell, that was an Aghanim Scepter on the Roche, and guess who they gave it to?
Oh, they gave it to TB.
They
cool.
sure did. Are you excited about this? Are you ready to see Terra Wave, buddy?
I don't think I've ever seen it in a pro game, so yeah, kind of.
I think I've seen it once. Trent and I saw it in a game where there were Terrorblade and Puck on the same team. That was cool. Puck got Aghanims.
Oh, that is pretty cool.
And they got a couple sick tether snaps. Only time I've seen it, and obviously that specific synergy makes a lot of sense. And also situations like this where it's like, I wouldn't buy that shit, but if you're going to give it to me, I mean, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it definitely has really high value, especially in later game situations. Like, every form of CC becomes more powerful just because of how much damage scaling there is. Like, it's way easier to deal damage than it is to be tanky enough to live, if that makes sense. Like, there's a lot of items that just are built specifically to kill, you know, any sort of tanky hero.
It's a handy little save. We'll see if it actually makes a difference in the fights.
I mean, most likely what we'll see is him just popping meta to hit the tower like normal, and it won't be
well,
that,
so it's different now, though, Draskell. Don't forget, it's its own spell. They buffed it. So when he goes into meta, he gets an additional skill. Yeah, that's why I'm so hyped for it, because it used to be completely shitty.
I forgot.
Now
it used to be the one that just triggered off his meta,
exactly.
Right?
And that's why it was so counterintuitive, because it's like, wait, no, I want to hit him right when I pop meta. I'm never using meta to survive. Now you can use meta, however, and then you just get this basically terrorize around you spell.
Yeah, that's way better.
Yeah, it has a long cooldown, though. It's like 100 seconds or something, so you only get it once. But keep an eye out. Double damage on TB, as you mentioned, the Moon Shard. No buybacks available.
God, if they wait, they just make it.
They gotta go. They gotta go. There's the glyph. There's the haunt. Backline. Ravage comes out. They want magical, but he's got an Eon Disc. Second Ravage, not gonna do much as Cheshire Cat falls. The big fight's on the backside. It's the Storm Spirit.
That's game.
Wow. You know,
goodbye.
I was looking at that fight from like what Terrorblade was looking at, and like Storm just went in there. That was high risk, high reward, I guess, but
yeah.
Whew.
I mean, it's if the TB gets to hit